There's really five reasons why people use social networking. First and foremost, it's knowledge, and to find out they have a challenge or they're looking for knowledge. It's also to connect with their friends and family. Number 4 is money. It's either a job or a way to make money or network. Okay, and then the last is organizing. So that would be, in the biggest case, Barack Obama, but it would also be this entire event. So those are the primary reasons that people are using the social networks. Marketers haven't really gotten it. They've tried to put banner ads on Facebook, and they're trying to monetize this, but what they've come to the realization in the past, I would say 6 months, is that when they assist and they help satisfy consumers to reach their goals through social networking, they provide value-rich content. In particular, video has been very valuable for them, but any value-rich content, consumers go out and grab it. And they don't grab it off their website, they grab it out in the blogosphere, and they bring it back into the social networks and start sharing it, and all of a sudden their message is spread. Is everybody here familiar with the Burger King promotion that just ran? The Facebook promotion? Anybody? They just ran a program where they gave you a free Whopper if you unfriended some of the people that you don't like on Facebook. So it gave you an excuse to unfriend them. So here it is, a burger chain trying to give you a coupon. Instead of slapping a banner on Facebook, they've given you a tool to help you get rid of the people you don't like and get something that you do like. That's a good example of a marketer understanding social networking. So really, social networks are starting to move very quickly, and the innovation that's coming out of them is all speed-based. So if you think about consumers being on social networks, they're wanting to do things faster. And the fastest path to their goals that's intuitive are where they're migrating to. So what that means is people are opting in, and networks are identifying some of the habits and behaviors that they have, and they're feeding them information that they might want. So you like Radiohead? Well, you might also like this album over here. Or you like to know about the weather in Cincinnati? Here's some other things going on in Cincinnati. What's happening now, it started this year, and what's going to happen in the next 14 months is a complete migration of social networking and the web. So how many people here, I would assume a lot of you, everybody has a smartphone, has a BlackBerry, everybody pretty much in this room? 20% of the country now has a smartphone device. By the end of this year, in a recession, it's predicted that that number is going to be at 40 to 50%. And what that does is that changes the game, because handsets outnumber computers 3 to 1. So when you start hitting numbers at 40 to 50%, this actually becomes the #1 device that accesses the web. So a lot of people are going, well, our computers aren't going away, that doesn't mean anything. But if you think about the intuitiveness of a smartphone, think about using an app and not a keyboard. Think about bypassing Google. Google's sitting in the back end and it's driving a lot of these things, but you're not going to go through Google and search. It changes the game completely. And so I'm running on here, and I'm going to try to shorten this for you. Apps versus where, right here. Apps versus where. Remember that. All these apps that are on the phones are going to take over. People aren't going to need software anymore. We all know that. But the apps are going to steer you to the very specific things in your life that you need, and they're going to get you there faster. And then everything's going mobile. Obviously, the biggest benefit to that is GPS, because you can opt in and GPS knows where you are, it can shoot you messages, and intuitively feed you information. But just the fact that you're going to be walking around with the web all the time means you're going to be using it a lot more than you have on a laptop. And then I talked about the opt-in trafficking. So I guess the message is, for this discussion, it hasn't been a discussion, it's been a bad PowerPoint, I apologize. But the message here is that everything that we can imagine that's possible is just on the surface, because we're going into a new realm. I wanted to reference Darwin because this is the 150th anniversary just a few days ago of the release of The Origin of Species, and he talks about evolution. And if you read his words here and think about this, and then think about social networking, think about video and two-way communication, We're going to be set up for Roger to come up here and do a great presentation and talk about the future of video. But Darwin said there is a struggle for existence. The weakest are eliminated. The survivors pass on their traits to their offspring, and the differential transmission leads to new species. The web really is a hybrid of media, and the top of the food chain of media is television, and it's a hybrid of telecom. And the top benefit to telecom is two-way communication. So if you think about those two things and you think about this hybrid, video is the strongest, most powerful tool ever created by man because it's the only replication we have, true replication of ourselves. But what's missing from video is the two-way communication. That's the telephone. So those two coming together is really where all of this is leading to. When you think about an application and you hit it right now and you get some information on it, imagine, I'll give you an example here. I'm sure a lot of you have the smartphones, but I'm going to pull up a concert that I was at in Dallas, Texas, and I actually made this video. It's a Radiohead concert. It'll take a second to load. But I walk around and I have 10 or 11 songs on here from the concert that I attended. Now imagine that I'm able to tag this. I'm able to put things in the video and say, hey, I was standing here, or Tom York's doing this, or Tom York can come in because he knows that I like Radiohead and he can tell me where to get Radiohead stuff, and it's all programmed in the video. Our communication goes away from, so we're watching Radiohead, and I actually shot this, but the point being, when you go to OpenTable.com and they tell you have reservations at 7:30, how cool is it going to be when the maitre d' pops up on your phone and checks you out? That's what we're going to. Last slide, and then I'm going to turn it over to Roger here, and we'll open it up to discussion. Astronomers just found out in January that the Milky Way is twice as big as we ever imagined. And the reason that we know the size of a lot of galaxies that are out in space that we're not in is because we're inside the Milky Way. We can't truly see it. That's where we're sitting right now with the internet. Everything that we think we can imagine and we think that's going to be here is only half the story.